This is something that means a lot to me.
Before the championships.
You know, to be able to go out here one last time.
Before the scars that never healed. There were 4 men chasing the same dream.
Oh, instead, 3D!
2 sets of brothers born in different worlds, bound for the same destiny.
My dad's Jeff Hardy, and he does really cool wrestling stuff.
From WWF Raw to Madison Square Garden to the chaos of TNA wrestling, they didn't just collide. They carved their names into history.
Brother Nero.
Together.
I knew you'd come.
They redefined what tag team wrestling could be.
Oh, my brother!
They turned tables into weapons.
Oh, testify!
And violence into art.
It's amazing to have those shared bonds with people.
For more than 2 decades, they've pushed each other to the edge.
When you stop moving, when you stop doing what you do and doing what you love.
And pulled each other back from it.
That's when you start fading away.
Rivals.
The hardest.
Brothers.
Team 3D.
Survivors.
The TNA World Tag Team titles.
And now, at Bound for Glory, there is no tomorrow. No more unfinished business.
They stood out so much, and I was like, man, what if we end up in the ring with these guys one day?
No more what-ifs.
The table has been set.
Just one last match. One last war.
A legacy will come to a close. And Bound for Glory.
One last chance to finish this. Once and for all.
Bound for Glory in Boston.
This is about sacrifice.
It'll be a very special night for everybody involved.
Brotherhood and legacy.
But for most of all, it's going to be a special night for you.
TNA Wrestling proudly presents Road to Glory.
We're going to give you moments and memories that'll live for another 25 years, if not forever.
In 1991, when I graduated and made a decision not to go and pursue a football career, I called Johnny Rodz in Brooklyn, New York, downtown Gleason's gym, which is known for boxing.
I was supposed to be trained by Johnny Rodz, but it never happened. But the first day I ever met Johnny, he put me in a wrestling ring, and the show Good Morning New York was filming live from Johnny's school.
Some of the greats, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Michael Spinks, you name it, they were all there at Gleason's gym. Well, my trainer, the unpredictable Johnny Rodz, was a retired wrestler at the time, opened up a small area in Gleason's gym, put a wrestling ring and said, okay, here's a wrestling school.
And lo and behold, unbeknownst to me and unbeknownst to him, Devon happened to be in the same ring at the same time.
I don't remember Bubba being there. Bubba said he was there, but I don't remember. That's the thing.
The first time I saw the Dudleys was the original ECW. Matt and I would stay up to like 2 a.m. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the Dudleys was like this whole family that was in the original ECW. And Bubba and Devon, I mean, they stood out so much, and I was like, man, what if we end up in the ring with these guys one day?
Myself and my long-lost brother Devon did not meet until 1996 when he came into ECW, and me and Devon were arch nemesis. Devon being the righteous brother of the Dudley group, with Bubba being the more happy-go-lucky, stuttering, dancing, juggling fan favorite. My brother Devon didn't like that too much, so he tried to set me straight over and over again.
The first time I remember seeing the Dudleys, it was sometime in 1998, and I loved that they were carving their own niche out where they were putting people through tables. And then on top of that, I thought they really worked hard and they busted their ass. And I also thought it was something very riveting whenever they would do flaming tables. They really did things that hadn't been done before. They really were thinking outside the box.
I think Bubba and I found our chemistry as time went on. We had a great time back then. I mean, ECW, I tell you, there'll never be a place like that ever again. I mean, the camaraderie between everybody, just the overall specialness about ECW was just incredible.
Fans loved me in ECW. Fans hated Devon in ECW. And he was constantly bullying me and beating me up. And in fighting one another, I realized that there was something that me and Devon had that the both of us didn't have with any of the other Dudleys. A certain in-ring chemistry.
We always wanted to go to WWE. At one point I had cold feet and I was like, no, I'm not going. Me and Bubba somewhat got into it, and then finally I was like, all right, let's do it. I was scared to go. And I was gonna be a little fish in a big pond, and I knew it.
From the first experience with Bubba and Devon, I had no idea, what the future was holding for us as far as, we knew they broke tables, but we had no idea. Just for us to both end up there and then to start feuding was so bizarre and super cool.
WWE calls, and they were very serious about bringing in the Dudleys, but we felt that we were part of something with ECW. We let Paul know that the WWE called, and we asked Paul to give us $1 more a day. And if he would have given us $1 more a day, we would have stayed. Paul said, I can't get into a bidding war with the WWE. And we were like, a bidding war? $1 a day, $1 a show isn't a bidding war. And that's the moment that I realized that Paul was in bed with the WWE.
It was going to be really interesting just to see how talented these guys were. We bonded with them pretty quickly, and we realized that we could work together, and we thought right from the beginning that that would be a program, a rivalry we could have, and we could make money because, you have these two brawlers, these two guys who just rough people up in the Dudleys, and then you have these two high-risk guys who the people love, the underdogs, and they want to see them come from underneath and win their match, and Matt and Jeff Hardy. And lo and behold, we went on to make a lot of history.
First impression when I first saw them, loved them. Loved their demeanor, their core about them. I mean, it was just on sync with those guys. And I couldn't ask for a better group of friends to share the road with and the ring. When the Dudleys and the Hardys first started, we never thought that we would have the chemistry that we had. It was special, it was unique, and not everybody can have that type of chemistry with each other.
When we got to the WWE, we had known about the Hardys, and they were doing, their best to get the tag team scene in the WWE, fired up again. We knew that there was something there. We knew that we had chemistry in the ring. We knew the first couple of times that we were in there with those guys, they were so loved. The Dudleys had this mystique around them. It wasn't that we were hated, it's that mystique that we had coming out of ECW, that whenever we were around, you knew something was gonna happen. The teams gelled, and that's how we get to the Royal Rumble 2000 in Madison Square Garden.
The tables match in Madison Square Garden with the Dudleys, definitely the peak in that match for me was when I was gonna hit the Swanton, win the match, and it was that out there with the crowd. I was just perched up there, and just that I kind of live for those moments, that rush of not knowing if you're gonna be okay after the fact. That's one of those examples of, man, nothing needed to be different. That match was close to flawless.
Can't take you through the night of the first tables match. All I can tell you is this: we stole the show, and we made history. It set the standard for what we were capable of. It put tag team wrestling back on the map in the WWE. We forced people to pay attention to us.
We're facing the Dudleys in 2025, and that match was 25 years ago, in 2000. And if the Dudleys could defeat us for the TNA World Tag Team Championships, then they would be 25-time World Tag Team Champions.
In 2005, the Dudleys and the WWE decided to part ways amicably.
Wait a minute. What's that? What's going on? I hear the music. What's going on? You hear the music? Who can it be? Oh, it's into the crowd! It's Steve 3D! Brother Devon!
I wanted me and Devon splitting up to have a real story, to have real depth, to have real meaning. I wanted people to understand why this great tag team, some say the greatest tag team of all time, felt the need to split up. And it all revolved around one thing, the Dudley Death Drop, the 3D. Nobody had ever kicked out of the 3D.
Look, here it is! 3D! That's it, baby! It is 1, 2, new champs! What the heck?
Probably the most protected finish in all of pro wrestling history.
Has anybody ever kicked out of 3D? No! I mean, not for 15 freaking years! I've never seen that!
1, 2, Chris Sabin kicks out. Shock. Nobody has ever kicked out of the 3D. And that shock led to Team 3D losing the match.
Guns go for the double team again and out of the neck breaker from Sabin. It's the close body by Shelley. Sabin quick cover. Sabin leg hook. Brother Ray's shoulders are down. And the Guns keep the titles.
Next week at TV, Bubba and Devon say their official goodbyes. Bubba and Devon high five and they hug. Devon turns his back to Bubba and Bully is born. I was cultivating and introducing Bully Ray to the world. And Bully Ray's run in TNA speaks volumes for the way we set the table and the way the entire story played out.
I remember thinking it was so cool to see Bully Ray and the reinvention that the man, Bubba Ray Dudley, did. It's so hard to split away and become a singles guy in many capacity because a lot of people, they yearn to see you with your tag team partner. There's so many people that yearn to see Bubba and Devon together. So many people that yearn to see the Hardys together. You know, not just like, you know, here's Matt Hardy or here's Jeff Hardy. But I just remember thinking like, God, he has done such a great job, Bully Ray, of like dialing in on this, creating this Bully Ray character, perfecting it, and making people learn to hate it. People didn't think of him necessarily as a Dudley. They thought of him as Bully Ray, and it led to him becoming the champion.
I worked with Bully a lot, man, with the Aces and Eights thing, and I mean, he was like this leader of a motorcycle gang. I was like, whoa, where did this come from? It's so cool to see somebody go out on their own and do something different.
I'm sure there are people with Bryan Cranston that will always see him as Walter White, as Heisenberg. There are people that will look at Michael C. Hall and they will always see him as Dexter, and it kind of typecast him right into this role. I've always been appreciative, I think, of that because it always gives us something to do. It's always something that is exciting. Even when Jeff and I split apart, whenever we have these individual solo runs, I know it's going to be even bigger when we come back together.
The legacy of the Dudleys is this. We're the most decorated tag team of all time. End of sentence, period. I got 4 boys, older. I got my 2 daughters and then my youngest son. So they don't really know what's going on, but the older ones do. You know, so I have to try to plant the seed in the younger ones that, you know, Daddy made something of himself. You know, he's in history, he's Hall of Fames, you name it, Daddy did it. And you can only go so far with that before the kid goes, okay, Dad. And we want our family and friends and people that were there with us since day one to know that it wasn't easy.
That handshake between 2 men, between 2 athletes, in this case, these 4 legends, that means more than ink ever can.
These 2 teams went out there and created history like no other.
What are you expecting to see on this big last match? What are you expecting?
That I wish that I can go with him on the stage, and I think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
You gonna fight for me?
Yes.
You get in the ring and beat him up?
Yes.
You gonna help Bubba do a 3D?
Yes.
That's my princess.
Well, I did see a video of my dad where one time he was like climbing up a ladder to get the belt and he was doing his dances. I really liked it. It was really cool.
It's so cool to see a version of yourself. And as far as me and having 2 daughters, to see pretty much like the female version of you, it's super cool to like experience that every day, and I'm just so blessed.
I love the impact that he has on many, many people. You know, fans will come up and just bawl their eyes out and say how much he's helped them And I just think that's such a surreal feeling to think, you know, how can my dad help somebody through God knows what they've been through. And it's really cool to see those interactions happen in person and how much of an influence he's had on people over all these years.
The arena waits in silence. A storm swelling in the air.
To be remembered as guys that went out there and gave it all they had, you know, childhood dream stuff that came true and beyond my expectations.
Every heartbeat echoing like thunder.
I couldn't tell you what the emotion will be like before, during, and after the match, because then that would be planned emotion, and I despised planned emotion.
No hesitation. No second thoughts. Only the weight of destiny pressing down. Every step toward the ring. Every breath before the fight. It all leads here.
For the people that are diehard fans, for their fandom, it's the end of an era. You see this, and when we advertise it one final time.
The crowd doesn't see the sacrifice. They don't hear the doubts. They only feel the eruption when it all begins.
We plan on doing things on that night that make people feel something. I don't know what that something is going to be.
The stage is set. The fight inevitable. The moment unforgettable.
But if things go the way I think they're going to go,
I knew you'd come. Out of nowhere, the 3D!
And in Boston, the city of champions, glory is all that remains.
you, and everybody watching right now, you'll have a tear down your face, and that will be real emotion.
The Hardys. Team 3D.
Oh, my brother! That's the fire!
One final table